Is he good up there? Is he giving me a thumbs up? We're all set? Frank and Doug? Okay. Mr. Moffett?
I'll read the statement of compliance.
Yes, please.
This meeting is being held in conformity to the Open Publics Meeting Act. Proper public notice of this meeting was published in local newspapers on March 7, 2015 and March 8, 2015. If any board member or member of the public in attendance believes that this meeting is in violation of the Open Publics Meeting Act, the Hoboken Board of Education requests that they make a statement at this time. The board wishes to make those in attendance aware that this meeting is being recorded on video and will be rebroadcast by the board at a later date on cable television channel 77 and FiOS channel 46. The Hoboken Board of Education is committed to preserving the decorum of the public process and is mindful that we live in an electronic age of computers, cell phones, and other electronic communication devices. Nevertheless, we respectfully request that all meeting participants kindly silence their electronic devices during the course of the meeting, and if the device is necessary to be used, we ask that you leave the meeting room to conduct personal business. If you please rise for the salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Take the roll, please.
Ms. Angley?
Here.
Mr. Biancamano?
Present.
Ms. Evans?
Here.
Dr. Gold?
Here.
Mr. Kluffeld?
Here.
Ms. Mitchell?
Here.
Ms. Sobolov?
Here.
Ms. Stromwall?
Here.
And Ms. Tyroller.
Here. Welcome, everyone. Tonight is one of our wonderful nights that we have for board meeting. It's not only our student recognition that we get to do every month, but also the Teacher of the Year and Educational Services Professional of the Year recognition ceremony. So with no further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Hernandez.
Good evening, Madam President. This evening we have two celebrations. We're going to celebrate the Students of the Month as well as the Teachers of the Year in the Educational Professional Services. We will start with the Students of the Month. Our first student is from Brant, and this is a special one, Charlie Paul. Come on up, Charlie. Charlie is a twin. Don't tell anyone.
Good.
Charlie is a twin. They are both outstanding students. This evening I'm focusing on Charlie. Which one's Charlie? Okay. He is a good friend, a good helper, and always willing to cooperate. He has overcome his fear of making mistakes and seeing how he can learn from them. He is an excellent student in the classroom. Please join me in congratulating Charlie and his twin.
Dad, do you want to come down and take a picture up close before we let them sit down? Okay. Here comes Dad. Here's some of this one. Oh, here comes his parents. Cute. Or you can, yeah.
This evening we have a makeup presentation from last month. A January Student of the Month from Calabro, Gabriella Terranelli. Stand over here. She is a very caring and conscientious young lady. If someone is feeling sad, she's always right there to help them feel better. Gabriella is a loyal friend and treats her peers and teachers with kindness and respect. Gabriella is organized and works hard to keep up to date with homework and classroom assignments. Her upbeat personality and approach to learning continues to enable her to grow academically. Gabriella exhibits all the characteristics which make her an excellent choice to represent Calabro School January Student of the Month. Please join me in congratulating Gabby. Our February Student of the Month from Calabro, Manny Torres. Manny is a sixth grader. He's a positive role model in and out of the classroom. He is loyal and treats his peers and teachers with kindness and respect. Manny is a great example for students not just academically, but behaviorally as well. Manny is conscientious, who always strives to complete assignments in a timely manner. His upbeat personality and good sense of humor is another great attribute he continues to share with others. Manny exhibits all the characteristics which make him an excellent choice to represent Calabro School as a February Student of the Month. Please join me in congratulating Manny. Samuel. Our next student is a third grader from Connors, Samuel Gilliard. Okay. Sammy is an extremely passionate learner. He takes what concepts he learns and applies them to real-world situations. Samuel's curiosity and skill for art, for example, has transpired within his core academics such as math, reading, writing, science, and social studies.
Here he comes.
There we go, Samuel. He is one to add value and focus to conversations and always lends a helping hand to others who may require assistance. Sam has learned to tap into his creativity by working independently and has greatly improved in his cooperative group work. His pride in his work is observable not only by his peers, but by many teachers as well. We are extremely proud of Samuel and his accomplishments thus far. We anticipate ample growth for future success. Please join me in congratulating Sam. Our next student is a fifth grader from Wallace, Shayna Suedo. Shayna is a fifth grader. She's an outstanding and well-rounded child. She is kind and very helpful to all of her peers in fifth grade. She is a student that has achieved academic excellence in all of her subjects. She gives 100% effort at all times and is well-deserving of this award. She is a pleasure to teach. Congratulations to Shayna. Please join me in congratulating Shayna. Our Hoboken Junior High School Student of the Month is grade 7, Malcolm Cummins. Malcolm worked backstage for Greece. He exemplified what it means to be a leader. He worked harder than most of his peers and was one of the youngest members of the stage crew. While staying after school 5 days a week till 6 p.m. building the set, he managed to maintain an A average in all of his classes. He takes great pride in his work. One day, he will be the stage manager. Please join me in congratulating Malcolm. our high school student of the month, 9th grader Yesenia Aracena. Yesenia is an excellent student. She is a hard worker. She comes to school early to work in the library, works diligently in the classroom, and often remains after school to attend the ACE program. She strives for perfection in all of her work. Her outstanding effort is notable for this recognition. Please join me in recognizing Yesenia. At this time, I would like to just make a special presentation alongside of Maritza Ramos. She would like to present something to several board members who participated in the Read Across America last week. They showed up to the Connor School and read Dr. Seuss books to first graders and kindergarten kids and did an excellent job. And Ms. Maritza would like to present.
Thank you. On behalf of Connors Elementary School, Maritza Ramos, it was great having some of the board members and city officials come over and celebrate with us, Dr. Sue. And I do have some recognition here for some of the board members. Excuse me if I don't know your names very well, but Dr. Hernandez will help me on this.
Cromwell? Yes. Yeah, and Jennifer Evans? Come down, please.
Yeah, one for you.
That's Mr. Clifford. Tom Clifford.
Tom Clifford, you were a star in Connor School. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you next year. It was wonderful. The kids loved you. We loved you. Thank you for participating. Thank you. Miss Anglin, thank you so much for being part of Connor celebration. The certificate. Don't forget us. Come back.
Is this your pen?
Thank you.
All right, moving on, this evening, we are going to celebrate our Teachers of the Year, along with educational services professionals. Educational services professionals are your school counselors, your media specialists, school nurse, physical therapist, school psychologist, school social worker, reading specialist, all those individuals that add or provide support in the school level. These people that are going to be recognized this evening met the criteria which is set by the State Department of Education, and I'll read that criteria. One, must be a certificated employee with a state license. Two, must have achieved a summative rating of at least effective off of our 4-point rubric. Three, must anticipate actively continuing his or her career for at least 5 more years. 4, they must inspire children of all backgrounds and abilities. And 5, must have the respect and admiration of students, parents, and colleagues. These 10 individuals that will be called up this evening were all selected by their peers and colleagues in their buildings. So I congratulate them, and we will have the principals from each school will come up and introduce their 2 staff members. We will start off with Sandra Rodriguez, from Grant School. I would also ask Dr. Brockel and Ms. Tyroller to come down.
Thank you. Good evening, esteemed members of the Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Brockel, Assistant Superintendent Dr. Hernandez, and the Hoboken community. I am Sandra Rodriguez, principal of the Joseph F. Brandt School. Tonight, I have the honor of presenting to you two exemplary members of my talented faculty. I will begin with Brandt's selection for Governor's Teacher of the Year, Miss Andrea Mangione. Miss Mangione knew from the 3rd grade that she wanted to be a teacher. Her teacher at the time told her that she was a natural leader and she had the nerve to believe her. And from that time, her passion began to grow. She received her BA in Communications from Fairfield University while interning for a media company in New York City. She continued her education at the graduate level at Georgian Court University, where she obtained her teaching certification. She had a powerful student teaching experience in grade 3, but pre-kindergarten is where her passion rests. How lucky for us. She has been teaching in the Hoboken Public Schools since 2013. She is proud to say that she has been a part of the Hoboken's preschool program from its inception. Her passion for helping the youngest learners, along with her creativity and patience, has helped form the teacher that she is today. Her ability to develop the cognitive with the social-emotional growth of children is indeed both moving and awe-inspiring. How lucky for us. Now to Brandt's selection for Governor's Specialist of the Year, Dr. Yesenia Flores. Dr. Flores knew very early on that she would spend her life advocating for the well-being of children. As an English language learner, she understands firsthand the experience of being a struggling learner. These challenges propelled her desire to learn how to integrate social, cultural, and educational influences to promote positive change at the individual and systemic levels. She earned a doctorate in school and community psychology from Hofstra University in 2007. She is a licensed psychologist, a certified school counselor, and a certified school psychologist. In all of these amazing things she is able to do, her heart and passion rests with the children of this great city of Hoboken. How lucky for us. She is about as hands-on as they come. Her temperament and knowledge base are both templates of greatness. Our students are great friends because she is a great friend. How lucky for us. I will close with 10 words shared by the faculty at Brandt when asked to select a word to describe these two servants of the youngest children. They are fierce, brilliant, genuine, inspirational, dedicated, creative, loving, masterful, distinguished, and passionate. They are a perfect 10. I completely agree, and I'm humbled to lead the work alongside of you both. Congratulations.
This time, I would like to continue the program with the principal from Calabro, Mr. Joseph Vaspignani.
Good evening again, Joe Vespignani, principal of Calabro Elementary School, and thank you to the Board of Education and to the administration for giving the principals a chance to speak on behalf of the representatives from our respective buildings. I am pleased to recognize Ms. Jill Ann Litzy as the Calabro representative of the Governor Teacher of the Year. Ms. Litzy has worked in the Hoboken Public Schools for 12 years, and all 12 has been as a kindergarten teacher at Calabro. She received her bachelor's degree from East Stroudsburg University and continued for a master's degree in reading from King's College. She takes an active leadership role in our school, serving as both a mentor for non-tenured staff and also as a cooperating teacher for pre-service educators. She concurrently serves as our school-based affirmative action officer. If you read her bio, it was indicated that she creates a safe learning environment for all of her students. This is a critical component of any classroom in order for learning to take place, but even more so for kindergarten students who are still acclimating to the school and need to feel comfortable. After reflecting on who this teacher is and what she offers her students each day, I recalled the book, All I Really Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten, which I imagine many of the room are familiar with. I'd like to highlight a few parts that relate to Ms. Litzy's items that she gives us each day. Excuse me. All I really need to know about how to live and what to do and how to be, I learned in kindergarten. Wisdom was not at the top of the graduate school mountain, but there in the sand pile at school. These are the things I learned. Share everything, play fair, don't take things that aren't yours, say you're sorry when you hurt somebody, and my personal favorite, warm cookies and cold milk are good for you. Our Teacher of the Year's reach goes beyond the curricular binders and beyond the Reading Wonders and Singapore math programs and extends into the lives of the youngest minds and betters them each day with her easygoing, nurturing approach as she teaches them how to live and what to do and how to be. Ms. Litzy, thank you for all that you do for your students. I am also pleased to recognize Ms. Celeste Joyce, our school nurse, as the Educational Specialist of the Year. Ms. Joyce has had a long career as a registered professional nurse and began her school nurse career at a Newark charter school and spent time in Hoboken and North Bergen before being assigned to Calabro in 2008. A graduate of Christ Hospital School of Nursing in Jersey City, she worked in various inpatient and community health settings. She earned her Bachelor's of Science from Excelsior College and then continued for a master's degree in nursing with a concentration in clinical systems management. She completed requirements for the school nurse certification from Jersey City University. At Calabro, she has been the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society Pennies for Patients coordinator for the past 4 years and guided the efforts of staff and students this year to raise $2,018.09 for this charity. She is an active member of the Hudson County School Nurses Association, serving on the executive board for the last 3 years, and is also a member of the NJSNNA and the National School Nurses Association. I think the school nurse is an often forgotten about member of the team, and we primarily think of this role as tending to children who have become ill throughout the day. As I began to think about Ms. Joyce's performance in our school each day, I started to reference one of the associations that she's a member of, the National School Nurses Association. They report 5 ways a school nurse benefits a school that should not be forgotten. The first is attendance. School nurses improve attendance through health promotion and monitoring of student absences. Academics. Improved attendance means the healthy student is in the classroom and ready to learn. Accountability. Promoting compliance with federal and state law. Staff wellness. School nurses support the general health of staff, and a healthy staff means increased attendance and productivity. And lastly, time. School nurses save the principal's time, teachers and staff time as well. It's estimated that a school nurse saves a principal almost an hour a day, teachers almost 20 minutes a day, and clerical staff over 45 minutes a day. So thank you, Ms. Joyce, for all that you do for the students, staff, and families of Calabro Elementary School in supporting attendance, academics, and wellness every day. Thank you.
This time I would like to call up Mr. Gerald Fitzhugh from Connors Elementary School.
Good evening, esteemed members of the Hoboken Board of Education, Dr. Brackell, Dr. Hernandez, as well as our Hoboken community at large. I have to say that this evening is a special evening for our Teachers of the Year as well as our Educational Support Services Professionals of the Year. I will say that these two recipients this evening are driven and dedicated members of the Hoboken Board of Education, and particularly my school, the ever-improving Connors Elementary. This evening, I would like to begin with the Teacher of the Year, Mr. Michael Scott. Mr. Scott has been working in the Hoboken Public School District for 6 years. His first year of teaching in the district was as a kindergarten, art, physical education, and music teacher at the Brant School. After 1 year in that position, he was transferred to Connors Elementary, where he spent the last 5 years. In his first year at Connors Elementary, he taught second grade, but now teaches math and science to our fourth grade students. And he does a fantastic job, wouldn't you say?
I try.
You do more than try, right? Teaching these subjects has been a great opportunity since he has always loved and excelled in both subjects. He finds it particularly rewarding when the students are excited by math or when they realize they have grasped a difficult concept. He has always believed in strolling education and fun and games, and students in his classroom can often be seen rolling dice, completing math puzzles, or using technology to stay engaged. In addition to his classroom responsibilities, Mr. Scott teaches in his Connors classroom within the confines of the Robotics Club about engineering design and basic computer programming. He has participated in the after-school tutoring program for NJ Ask and the Connors Summer Program. To help keep the Connors community up to date on news and social events, Mr. Scott manages the school's Facebook and Twitter accounts. This year, he is also the co-coach of the Positive Behavioral Supports in Schools Initiative at Connors Elementary. This committee manages the Connors Cares Initiative designed to improve the school climate and reward students for positive behavior. In addition to being honored as Teacher of the Year for Connors, Mr. Scott has already had a great year. This evening, as you see in the back, his wife, hi Mrs. Scott, and his beautiful daughter Abigail are here this evening. So January was a very powerful month for Mr. Scott, and as the Connors family, we salute him and we thank him for all of his dedication and hard work. On behalf of the Connors family, we're presenting Mr. Scott with a plaque because I feel that, and we feel that, he has dedicated his life to the students in our building, and because of his leadership, our students are benefiting every day, each and every single day at Connors Elementary. Thomas G. Connors Elementary presents to Mr. Michael Scott on this day, Tuesday, March 10th, 2015, from the Thomas G. Connors Elementary School family for exhibiting the true essence of the word teacher. Congratulations on the honor of being named the Thomas G. Connors Elementary School's Teacher of the Year, school year 14-15. Your resilience and love for children resonates daily as you instruct our future leaders. Thank you for being a part of the Connors family. Without any further ado, I'd like to bring to our stage Ms. Allison Szymanski, our Educational Services Professional of the Year, Connors Elementary School year 2014-15. Ms. Szymanski joined the Hoboken Public School District in 2011. She taught 5th and 6th grade special education students at Connors Elementary, and her current assignment is the Response to Intervention Specialist at our school, as well as Calabro Elementary. Ms. Szymanski's road to literacy education was guided by a preoccupation with dyslexia. She was a constant witness to her childhood friend's frustration and disappointment as that friend struggled with reading. Ms. Szymanski comes from a family of teachers, and her goal to become a teacher was set at a very young age. Ms. Szymanski pursued a double major in language arts and elementary education with an endorsement in special education. Ms. Szymanski completed a 5-year course of study at Georgian Court University in 4 years. She was naturally drawn to the special needs population and enjoyed helping students with reading and writing. She's professionally and personally proud to experience the joy on children's faces when they come to awareness of their ability to read. These moments mark the beginning of their road to literacy and provide concrete foundations upon which all teachers can build. Ms. Szymanski completed the Orton Gilliam certification in multisensory reading at Fairleigh Dickinson University and is currently finishing coursework at Fairleigh Dickinson University for a master's degree. By playing an active role in preparing young people to become better readers, she will enable them to achieve higher education and become lifelong learners. To that end, I welcome Ms. Szymanski and I thank her for her dedication to our Connors family as well as to the Calabro family to ensure that children are going to be driven and wonderful learners here in our school district. Ms. Szymanski, I would like to also present you with our plaque that the Connors school family want to present to you this evening on Tuesday, March 10th for what we have seen as you being an educational leader. Continue to give from the heart to our students in the primary grades to prepare them to be college and career ready. Congratulations on the honor of being named the Thomas G. Connors Elementary School's Educational Service Professional of the Year, school year 14-15. Thank you for being part of the Connors Elementary School, school family. Congratulations.
Moving on, I would like to call up the principal from Wallace Elementary School, Mr. Roger Bowley.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank the Board of Education, Dr. Brickell, Dr. Hernandez for the opportunity and honor, to honor the professionals of Wallace Elementary School. I would like to congratulate all the honorees tonight, and I'd like to welcome all our guests in the audience who have come here to celebrate these wonderful professionals. Our first our teacher of the year for Wallace Elementary School is Miss Christina Arnone. Mrs. Christina Arnone. Mrs. Arnone's bio can be found on the Hoboken Board of Education website. I hope everyone takes the opportunity to read about her journey and how she has reached her position today as one of our many outstanding teachers at Wallace Elementary School and earned the right to be selected as the Wallace Elementary Teacher of the Year. Although I've only known her for a year and a half, it was easy for me to recognize that she possesses the knowledge of curriculum and the skills needed to impart her knowledge to each of her students in a way that allows each of them to reach their potential as learners. She is a dedicated lifelong learner who demonstrates all the attributes of a learner and teacher, the most important of which are a heart of gold, the patience of a saint, the love of children, and the respect of all who enter her classroom. Christine, I would like to leave you with this quote, an expression of my appreciation. As with all great teachers, her curriculum is an insignificant part of what she communicates. From her, you don't learn a subject, but life. Tolerance and justice, fearlessness and pride, reverence and pity are learned in a course of reading and writing if the teacher has those qualities. You certainly do. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Our Educational Services Professional of the Year is Ms. Allison Lemberg. Again, you can read Ms. Lemberg's bio on the Board of Education website. I hope everyone takes the opportunity to read about her journey and how she has reached her position today as one of our many outstanding professionals at Wallace Elementary School and earned the right to be selected as the Wallace Elementary Educational Services Professional of the Year. As with Christina, I've only known her for a year and a half, but her position as counselor necessitates me to working with her on almost a daily basis. Her duties at Wallace Elementary go far beyond those of a school counselor, but no matter what her duties entail, she always brings the love of children and the desire to support and care for her students and their families. In her short time here, she has made many connections with the community in her effort to serve everyone in the Wallace learning community. Her excitement and energy never fade, and she greets each day and each person with a smile and a helping hand. She's most proud of her Peace Bells program, which she's been running for the last 2 years. She's our Princess of Peace. Allison, Albert Einstein said, setting an example is not the main means of influencing another. It is the only means. Thank you for setting an example every day for all members of the Wallace learning community. Thank you. Congratulations.
As we move forward, we do have one of our students of the month that just showed up. We will do him, recognize him after the high school staff is recognized. And then after that, we will ask our teachers of the year and our educational services of the year. If they want to say a few words, they can come up here and address the board. Okay. At this time, I'd like to call up the high school principal, Ms. Robin Picapietra.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for giving me, all the principals here, the opportunity to recognize the great people we have working with us daily. Our teacher of the year is Miss Juliana Addy. She couldn't make it. Miss Addy has always had an enormous passion for science, especially the life sciences. She was an animal science major at Rutgers University. She wanted to become a teacher so she can combine her creativity and passion for both biology and education to inspire high school students and spark their interest in the field of STEM. She has been teaching biology at Hoboken Junior Senior High School for 13 years. With the unbelievable support from her colleagues, she has been given the flexibility to take on new educational projects as well as a creative platform to grow and excel as a teacher. For example, her students have had tremendous success designing and evaluating solutions to various problem-based learning activities under timed team competitions during weekly STEM days via the GK-12 STEM program. That's not easy to say, never, let alone do. She was selected from regional applicants from a grant for the National Science Foundation to design, develop, implement, and deliver a STEM program for high school biology students in conjunction with the GK-12 Graduate Fellows from Stevens Institute of Technology. She often relates new technological science innovations and STEM practices to the current topic in the classroom. She emphasizes to her students that STEM careers will be the most prosperous in the near future, citing the best 25 jobs to pursue by 2020 from U.S. News & World Report, with 8 of the 10 jobs being related to STEM careers. The addition of the STEM program has increased student critical thinking and creative skills, student leadership skills, and a development of a newfound love and passion for STEM careers. Juliana has also researched and implemented a station-based rotational model for blended learning to address the wide academic levels and varied learning styles within her classroom. Her students rotate between a teacher-led center, team collaborative group center, individualized online learning lab, and technology center. By implementing the blended learning program, she has been able to give more individualized support and enrichment, increase student engagement, and has given the students the platform to become team leaders, and problem solvers. Through laboratory investigations, her students learn to brainstorm like scientists, to be curious, innovative, and creative. Her students learn to use protocols as a starting point to design their own investigations and ask their own questions, constructing experiments around their own ideas. Her students analyze and communicate their data with each other in lab group discussions. If you go into her classroom on Wednesdays and Fridays, period 9, you will see all this going on. So I invite anyone who wants to see great learning taking place and great teaching taking place to visit. She has made it her mission to teach in a variety of instructional formats across the spectrum of learning styles and academic abilities in her classroom, knowing that all students learn differently and that all learning styles are valuable tools in education. She has extremely high expectations of her students and supports them in reaching those expectations by preparing them to be knowledgeable in the ways they learn best. Ms. Addy is constantly improving her teaching practice. With every lesson, lab investigation, blended learning activity, chapter project, or STEM activity, she always reflects about what was successful and what wasn't. Just as she continuously evolves her lesson plans based upon new trends in the scientific community, her teaching pedagogy also metamorphoses based upon new trends in the educational community. She feels that just as her students are always learning something new, so does she as their teacher. It has been an amazing experience for Ms. Addy to work with such fantastic students, colleagues, and administration. And we are truly lucky to have her. She's an exemplar as a teacher. Hoboken Junior Senior High School Educational Services Professional of the Year is Mr. Damian Arnone. We were also lucky to pull him away from park testing for a few hours because this man is the guru of park testing. Mr. Arnone is a school counselor and a testing coordinator at Hoboken Junior Senior High School. Mr. Arnone started his counseling career in 2008 when he was hired as a school counselor for the A.J. Demarest Alternative Education High School. This is Mr. Arnone's 6th year as a school counselor in the Hoboken School District, and he couldn't be any prouder. Mr. Arnone received his BA in psychology and always knew that he wanted to continue his studies in education. In 2007, he received his master's degree in school counseling from NJCU, and just recently received his supervisor's certificate as he continues working on his master's degree in educational leadership. Mr. Arnone's passion since he was a child was one day to improve the perception of the role of a school counselor. A school counselor acts as a dependable, informative mentor and guides students, families, and teachers. Today's school counselors are vital members of the educational team. They help all students in the areas of academic achievement, personal and social development, and career development, ensuring today's students become the productive, well-adjusted adults of tomorrow. Mr. Arnone has also been our school testing coordinator, where he has coordinated the state assessments, HESPA, New Jersey Ask, ASHA, New Jersey Bio, and now currently the PARCC exam, and has been instrumental, thanks to it, administration in implementing the PSAT to all 10th and 11th grade students to increase college and career readiness skills this year. He was also able to make Hoboken Junior Senior High School an ACT testing center for the first time and plans on increasing the testing dates next year. He has coordinated Saturday programs for New Jersey Ask and HESPA tutoring. As testing coordinator, he sees the impact that test scores have for students' academic futures and therefore has initiated the 1400 Club, a recognition program for students who achieve a 1400 or better in their PSAT or SAT. Posters around the school advertise the names of the high scorers, and this serves as motivation to prepare for and do well on the important test. Mr. Arnone, since first hired, has served as a coach in many capacities. He has been the assistant coach in softball, cross country, indoor-outdoor track, and also swimming. He has coached ice hockey for many different age levels and is a certified USA Hockey Level 4 coach. Mr. Arnone's true passion is student development and community involvement, whether it be assisting students on college applications or helping families fill out their FAFSA. The true commitment he tries to demonstrate with students and families is what he would like to pass on to many future families in his community. Today's young people are living in an exciting time with an increasingly diverse society, new technologies, and expanding opportunities. Our true role has become even more valuable. And if on any given day, if you're in our guidance department, you'll notice a line of kids waiting to see Mr. Arnone or filling out passes for Mr. Arnone. And the great thing about the guidance department and mostly about Mr. Arnone is that they share. They share all students, all cases. There's nobody specific counselor. They work together, they work as a team, and I think that's really what's made Mr. Arnone be able to shine. Thank you, Mr. Arnone.
Okay, I would just like to take a pause right now to call up one of our students of the month. It's our junior high school student, grade 7, Malcolm Cummins. Malcolm worked backstage for the Grease show. He exemplified what it means to be a leader. He worked harder than most of his peers and was one of the youngest members of the stage crew. While staying after school 5 days a week till 6 p.m. to build the set, he managed to maintain an A average in all of his classes. He takes great pride in his work. One day, he will be the stage manager for the high school. Please join me in congratulating Malcolm. Thank you. At this time, I would like to open up the mic for any of the teachers of the years or the educational services professional. If they want to come up and say a few words of appreciation. Thank you.
Ms. Mangione and I will go together. I am humbled and honored to stand in front of you today. My dream has always been to be able to go to work and not let it feel like work. And that is what I come to every single day. I am honored to work with the best administrators, with incredible colleagues that I am blessed to call my friends, and most importantly, some pretty awesome parents and kids who I love and adore as if they were my own. If you walk into Brand, you will see my preschoolers and my kindergartners give you a salutation. They will greet you in this way. That is how we teach our children, that the second that they walk into Brand School, they are loved, they are safe, and that is the foundation for learning. If our children do not feel loved and safe, they will not learn. So that is something that I try to instill in my teachers and with my team, that's the beginning. You're greeting your families, you're greeting your children with the love and respect that they deserve, and obviously, that's the respect that we give back to our teachers. I work with the best of the best. I invite you guys to please come over to Brand. You will find myself or someone on my team dressed up as a Brand buddy. I'm Batman, she's Superwoman, and we're running around teaching our kids what's expected of them. the behavioral expectations, how, they are loved and we have rules to follow. We use our walking feet, we use our inside voices, and it seeps in. You will have and you will see the happiest, most incredible children at Brant School. So I am honored and I am grateful for this opportunity. It's been such an amazing journey, and I expect and anticipate to stay with you guys for quite a long time, but this is amazing. I thank you very much.
Thank you so much. As Ms. Rodriguez had said, it's been my dream to work with children of a young age my whole life, and I'm really honored to be a part of their educational careers as a pre-K3 teacher. I'm kind of that first face they see. So I'm really grateful to have received this award, and as a resident of Hoboken myself, it makes me really happy to walk around and see the children and see them grow into Students of the Month. So thank you very much.
Hi, we're going to make this short and sweet. There's nothing like the recognition of your peers to really say that, they value what you do and they recognize that you do a good job. And it was so nice to hear my principal say something about school nurses, because we're not really seen as part of the education team. So it really is gratifying, and I want to share it with everybody at the Hudson County School Nurses Association and the State Association. It was so wonderful. And we're thankful to the board to take time out of your busy agenda to just take time and recognize. Jill?
Yes, thank you. I just want to say I'm very happy to accept this award, and I'm very honored to represent the Hoboken School District, and honored to especially represent Calabro School, because I've been there for 12 years and I love it there. So thank you for taking the time out to be here, and that's it.
I would like to thank the wonderful staff, along with Mr. Bally at Wallace Elementary School, for supporting me as Teacher of the Year. It has been an honor teaching in the Hoboken School District for the past 10 years. I would like to thank my students and families for all their support this year. You truly are my inspiration. Last, I would like to thank my parents, my brothers, my husband and his family for all their love and support today and always.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for this award. I really appreciate it so much, and it really, it's just little things like this make it just so nice, and I truly appreciate it so much. I also wanted to thank my family very much. Everyone knows a teacher's job never ends when they leave the building, and every Sunday night I spend working on my schoolwork, so I really appreciate them so much. And I also really wanted to thank my administration, Robin. She is the best principal I have ever had, and I truly mean this. As a teacher, I always want to improve on something, and I always have all these ideas of what I want to do in my classroom. And she just has like an open door where, what do you need, or what is it that you want to do? And I'll tell her my ideas, and she's like, okay, that's a great idea. Or even if it's not a great idea, like we're discussing it, and then she's like, if it's a great idea, she's like, let's see how we can make it work. And every year I try to improve on something, and this past year I wanted to do blended learning in my classroom. So at the end of the year last year, I talked to her about it, and she's like, yeah, let's make it work. And
We did like a practice run at the end of the year last year, and then over the summer I went to a workshop on it, and then at the beginning of the year I had every tool that I needed to make blended learning work in my classroom. And to have that kind of support from the administration to be able to just take the teachers' ideas and let them, run with it and let them excel in where their strengths are is absolutely huge. And to have every tool that I need to make it happen is absolutely huge. And I feel like having that level of support makes me successful in my classroom, and it totally helps my students learn. And I truly appreciate it so much, and I truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Superintendent Brockell, Dr. Hernandez, Principal Fitzhugh, board members, family, friends, it's truly an honor to be standing here tonight. I am overwhelmed with gratitude to be chosen as Thomas G. Connors School Educational Services Professional of the Year. It's been my pleasure to serve the students of the Hoboken Public Schools, and I look forward to improving on the success of the RTI program and helping students become better readers and lifelong learners. Our most important actions are not the assessments we give, the technology we integrate, or the mandates we passed. Our most significant action is the interaction that we have with our students. Again, thank you so much for this great honor.
Dr. Brockell, Dr. Hernandez, members of the board, administrators, especially Mr. Fitzhugh and Mr. Shannon, staff, fellow honorees, and community members, I'd first like to thank you for this honor. As mentioned, I've spent all of my young career in Hoboken, and I've learned many great things from many great people along the way. While I stand up here being honored as an individual, I share the accolade with all the faculty, staff, and administration at Connors, who, though I may be biased, I consider to be the best in Hoboken. We work hard each and every day to support our students both socially and academically. Speaking of those students, I would not be here without them, so I'd also like to thank each one who has entered my classroom and allowed me to share in their education with them. Fourth grade is an exciting time for students, and my best days are the days I remember to step back, enjoy the silly or unique perspectives or questions, and remember that they are just kids, not numbers on a spreadsheet or grades on a report card. Congratulations to all my fellow nominees, as we should all be proud of the work we do on a daily basis. Thank you.
Okay, in closing, I would just like to thank all the principals for being here this evening and supporting their teachers and staff members. Thank you. I would like to thank all the families that are here, family members, and also congratulate all the teachers and award winners this evening. Okay, thank you. And that concludes the recognition program. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hernandez.
Okay.
Okay. Well, what we'd like is if all the awardees could just come down and stand in front of the stage so that Maritza could get a picture of the whole group so we can put it on the website. So all the honorees. Okay, so cute. Gary, you can help arrange them. You're good at that kind of stuff. Yeah. Make sure that the tall ones are in the back and the less tall are in the front. Yeah, well, let's just stay here. It'll look nice, don't you think? I think we'll go, yeah.
I think so, to break the low battle.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to photobomb it. It's okay. Thank you. Okay, so now I'd like to give members of the board a chance to say a few words to our wonderful staff that we honor tonight. So,
Will wanted to say something? One of the students wanted to say
Ms. Angley?
I'd like to congratulate all of the honorees tonight. My son has the honor and privilege of having Mrs. Arnone, and we are truly blessed. She is a wonderful teacher. So thank you.
Mr. Biancamano?
Yeah, I would just like to say, there's one thing that this board can agree on, and that's that we have the best teachers in all of the country, I think. I really, really believe that. Your courage, sacrifice, and all your hard work has paid off, and I'm glad it's being recognized. So congratulations, and let's move forward, and let's get another New Jersey State Teacher of the Year this year. Congratulations again. Take it.
Ms. Mitchell?
It's so nice to see so much happiness, pride, and energy in this room. Just congratulations to everyone. Thank you so much.
Ms. Sobolov?
I wanted to also say congratulations. I mean, some of the teachers of the year my children have had, I think in your first year, right, Miss Litzy? I couldn't believe in the bio when it said 12 years. So some of the teachers I know, some I don't know, but I agree with Peter. I think that the one string that kind of goes through it is this incredible amount of pride and excitement and energy and positive, all that you bring to the school and to the children. And I can't thank you enough as a parent and as a board member, so congratulations to each and every one of you.
Mr. Gold? Would you like to?
This way?
Yeah.
I want to congratulate you, but for perhaps a different reason. So often teachers are viewed as numbers, as a budget item, as something that should have their salary examined, for lack of a better word. Here you represent that you're people with passion, that care about the children, and it's actually a humbling experience, and I hope the town of Hoboken looks at this and realizes we're dealing with people, with careers, with dreams, with the future of our kids. So it was humbling for me, and I want to thank you very much.
Ms. Stromwell?
I'd like to just say congratulations to all of you. Some of the teachers I know, some I don't. I'm sure I'll get to meet you on my journey as a parent here in the district. A special thank you to Ms. Lemberg, who is, my daughter just adores you, and you've helped her immensely, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Ms. Evans?
I'd like to say thank you and congratulations as well. Thanks for everything that you all do for the students of the Hoboken District every day. On a personal note, Mrs. Arnone is my daughter's second grade teacher this year. She's already told me she doesn't want to go to third grade because Mrs. Arnone won't be her teacher anymore. But I know that she'll have many great teachers going forward in the district. Zoe's a graduate of Brant, and India is at Brant as well. She was next door to Mrs. Mangione's classroom, and I believe spent some time there. And I know they both know Dr. Flores as well and have benefited from her. So thanks to all of you.
Mr. Klepfel?
Congratulations, everyone. I did have the pleasure of and the honor of being at Connors for that reading program last week, and I know some of the honorees tonight by name and by reputation, and as a parent too. So many people have said that being on the school board is a thankless job, but tonight I thank you for your work, and it kind of makes it all worthwhile, the work that we put up here to see that this is the result of our support of you, and what you're doing with that support is humbling for me, so thank you so much.
Dr. Burkell?
I've often said an interim superintendent inherits things. Some not so good sometimes, but some excellent. And I'll tell you what, the staff I've inherited here in Hoboken in my short time as an interim is just fabulous, fantastic, and I love working with the administrative staff and the teaching staff and all the support people every single day that I come in, so thank you very much.
Well, you know, we had lots of fanfare last year over Teacher of the Year. The truth is, we should have that much fanfare every year for all our wonderful teachers and support staff. Thank you for your commitment to educating our children, and also thank you to the non-certified staff that's in our classrooms, in the offices, and also cleaning and maintaining our buildings, because they do a great job that's indispensable as well. It was cute, the children that came up to congratulate their teacher. Ms. Sobolov and I did that to a teacher one year too. There was a teacher at Wallace that ended up with 2 board members' kids in their class. And it's always, but it's wonderful to see kids congratulate you as well, and it's very warming. My son is a 7th grader at the middle school. He's a proud middle schooler. He's excited about being a high schooler. And what's great is he goes to school every day happy. He's like running out the door. I know I did not run out the door to middle school. And what that means is he feels safe, he feels like a member of a school community, and it means that he's learning in an enjoyable, stimulating way. And that's really all a parent can ask for from the staff that takes care of their children. So all of that is because of you, and we do thank you. So on behalf of the Board of Education and all the parents and kids in the district, thank you, our teacher and support staff honorees, but also all the teachers that work in the district and all the uncertified staff that supports all of us as well. So with that, what we're going to do is we're going to take a 10-minute recess so that all of you can hug and kiss and say congratulations to each other, and then we are going to resume, but we're going to resume in closed session at 8:20. So board members, at 8:20 you'll go into closed session, but now Mr. Moffitt, just wait one moment, is going to read us into the session. Did I do that right?
The resolution reads as follows. Whereas the Hoboken Board of Education seeks to adjourn to executive session in full compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act. Whereas the Open Public Meeting Act provides that a public body may exclude the public from that portion of the meeting at which it discusses matters pertaining to personnel, negotiation, and/or litigation. Now, be it resolved that the Board of Education adjourns to executive session to discuss matters of personnel, negotiations, pending litigation, and other matters covered by attorney-client privilege. Be it further resolved that the minutes of this discussion of any of the items will be disclosed to the public when the matters have been determined and confidentiality is no longer required. Action may be taken by the board. The estimated time for executive session will be 60 minutes, and that ends the resolution.
I move it.
Second.
Second by Ms. Evans. Call roll.
Yes, please.
Ms. Angley?
Yes.
Mr. Biancamano?
Aye.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Dr. Gold?
Yes.
Mr. Kluffel?
Yes.
Ms. Mitchell?
Yes.
Ms. Sobolov?
Yes.
Ms. Stromwall?
Yes.
And Ms. Tyroller.
Yes. Okay. Okay, we're ready to start. Bill, can you please bring us out of closed session? Did you get your word? Did they tell you? Jean Marie, did you pass her the information?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Something I don't know about.
I think it goes up there.
I didn't know. Because I'm last, I just do it.
All right, I'd like to come back into session. So we're ending our closed session and opening the public portion again. So if you could vote by either yay or here or yes. Either one will suffice, and I'll mark it in the record. So may I have a motion to come back? And
I move it.
Second?
we'll take roll. Ms. Angley?
Here.
Mr. Biancamano? Oh,
Here.
I'm sorry, I thought he was behind you. I thought he was behind you, sorry. Ms. Evans?
Here.
Dr. Gold?
Here.
Mr. Kluffel?
Here.
Ms. Mitchell?
Here.
Ms. Sobolov?
Here.
Ms. Stromwell?
Here.
And Ms. Tyroller?
Here.
And Peter is here.
Okay, we are going to have quick committee reports. Dr. Brickell, you want to start with anything
Yeah,
you need to say?
I do have a comment on the agenda. We want to correct something on 9.16 under workshops. We need to correct the total amount for workshops should be $608 for Bill Moffitt attending the 53rd Annual NJAS ASBO Conference in Atlantic City, June 3rd to June 5th. That's 608 is the correction. And I did also want to comment on the park. On March 2nd, we began the park here, and as expected, we had some issues, as did every other district in the state. Some external, some internal, but we did take care of that problem, and after the snow day on Thursday, we came back in Friday, and things were working very smoothly. And they continue to work very smoothly. So I want to just congratulate the technical staff, and I want to congratulate also the park coordinators in each school, because they're keeping it together and doing a great job, running around, going crazy, but things are proceeding as we had hoped they would. That's it for me.
You done?
I'm done.
Okay. Who wants to start? Peter?
Business administrator.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Business administrator's report, please?
Yes, something quickly. Since our last meeting, we had received the state aid notice from the Department of Education. Some of the news sources have presented that as an increase. I've been congratulated by a lot of my peers, and it's like a mixed bag, like I said in some of my communications with the board. But these media sources suggest an increase of about $750,000 in state aid. Unfortunately, that's not the way it hits our budget. It's more of an $80,000 increase, because after, and this is what's not reported in the newspaper, is that we were reduced after our budget was cast last year by about $670,000. So when you take that in consideration, it's more like $80,000 increase, and that $80,000 increase is additional aid as it relates to the school choice program. That is the one area of the state budget that was presented by the governor that did receive new funding. According to the communication from the department, that's about $3.3 million in new school choice aid, of which we benefited at $80,000. Another item that was provided in that notification has to do with charter schools. Our payment or transfer to various charter schools increased by $524,956,000 from year to year. Of that, OLA is the largest recipient, increase to their portion of that payment or transfer. Their total increase for their one charter school is $407,938. So that is something that we have to appropriate, and it's dedicated for those payments for the future year. So again, that was an increase of about $525,000. And the last notification in that has to do with our preschool education aid. It's relatively flat. We had a slight decrease of about $66,000, but again, we're about $10 million for that program. Again, that is an Abbott program where we provide education to pre-K 3 and 4-year-olds as per ruling. And again, that is a separate and distinct program that's funded by a restricted source of funds from the Department of Education. Again, that's about $10.3 million. So, and that basically concludes my report. Outside of next week, we will have a budget, a quick preliminary budget discussion here in this auditorium at 7 o'clock. So I invite everybody out. That's next Tuesday, the 17th of March at 7 o'clock. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Mr. Gold, since you relate to his, would you like to do your Finance Committee report?
Okay. Well, the agenda is actually pro forma. There's nothing really important, or it's important, but nothing controversial. However, I'd like to stress Mr. Moffitt's comments that we have a serious budget problem. And while the administration is in the process of making as many cuts as they can, we're going to have to raise taxes. I guess the polite way of saying is we're going to have to raise the tax levy, but your taxes are going up. That's not really bad in and of itself. I mean, people get raises, people get interest on their money. But I think we should acknowledge that it's going to go up so we can seriously discuss why it's going to go up. We could understand that we're making huge sacrifices to keep it at the level that we're going to, and we'll have to talk about it. So I think the meeting next week will be quite informative. That's it.
Thank you. Ms. Strummel?
The Curriculum and Instruction Committee met Monday, March 2nd at 2:30. Dr. Hernandez, Mr. Charles Bartlett, Ms. Donna DeHunto, Ms. Irene Sobolov, Ms. Tyroller, and myself were present. It was really quick, and Dr. Brickell basically touched on what we talked about it because it was the first day of Park, and it was a big relief that we were heading on, and that day that we met, everything had gone okay, and actually we had heard from many children in the 3rd and 4th grade that the Park test was easy. So that was nice to hear from some of our youngsters. We also did discuss summer programs, and we're hoping to have something for the summer, but we have to work out the details and seeing how much funding is left. But we were really trying hard to develop quality programs for our students and our community members. So that concludes the committee report.
Thank you. Ms. Evans?
Okay, so the Governance and Personnel Committee met on Wednesday, March 4th. In attendance were Dr. Brickell, myself, Marie Laurence Fabian, Dr. Hernandez, Mr. Moffitt, Ms. Stromwall, Ms. Sobolov, Ms. Tyroller. Ms. Fabian updated the committee on pending legal matters, and she also answered questions from committee members regarding any legal issues. The committee discussed personnel matters. The committee reviewed all agenda items for governance and personnel and recommends all for approval by the board. I'll just point out that the calendar for the 2015-2016 school year is one of those items. And also, at this point, I wanted to mention that a former district teacher, Marianne Insignia, passed away last month. She was a teacher in the Hoboken School District for over 37 years, and she was honored during her career as Teacher of the Year. She taught in many areas, and one of her favorite assignments was teaching 2nd grade at the Calabro School. So I just wanted to remember her tonight, especially since we are Teacher of the Year tonight as well.
Thank you. Yep. Mr. Biancamano, Facilities?
Sure. Absolutely. The Facilities Committee met on Wednesday, March 4th from 7 p.m. through 8:25 p.m. in the Denver 2nd floor conference room. In attendance were G. Marie Mitchell, Sharon Angley, myself, Tom Kluckfeld, and Mr. Callaghy. The items discussed: the Brant School facade updates, my favorite issue. On Wednesday of last week, the district submitted the cost estimate to the SDA. There were a total of 5 bids received. In the cost estimate, it included the first $40,000 that was initially paid to erect the scaffolding, $178,000 for the months the scaffolding was up, and of course, the cost to fix the facade. Apparently there was some news on that today that I heard, and I don't know if Mr. Moffitt can touch up on that as soon as my report is done, but I don't want to give any timetables of when the work is going to begin or not. Just the good news is the SDA has now agreed to pay 97% of the costs. The scaffolding has been up for 36 months, and the SDA is covering 32 months. We feel confident through appeals we will get the remaining 4 months covered. There was a flood emergency at Calabro on the weekend of February 21st and 22nd. A pipe burst in the cafeteria at 3 a.m. The district immediately called the fire department and PSE&G. After it was safe, they began draining the water, and an electrician came in on the Sunday after it burst. They finished the work to reopen the following Monday. The only thing damaged was a fire panel system which needed to be replaced. We spoke a little bit about the long-range facilities plan. According to Mr. Callaghy, the plan is being updated and is moving ahead. It's a great deal of work for the facilities office, but everything seems to be going smoothly. Interestingly, the Education Law Center took the state to court over all state district plans, stating the district should not have to pay for the plan since the SDA is in a deficit. We spoke a little bit about the Wallace emergency generator updates. It's in the process of being installed. The district had to build a pod behind Wallace School, but had to slow down the work since park testing was being done. But it should be completed by the end of this week. We spoke about signage and the entrance configuration at Demorest. Mr. Callaghy is looking to reconfigure the entrance here. The entrance we are using now is a shipping entrance, and he's hoping we could move the main entrance to the top of the stairs on 4th Street. We are looking to make it more welcoming than the shipping entrance that we have to all go through now. While we wait for the new sign and other factors, we will hopefully be putting a temporary sign up. We touched briefly on food services. They were $10,000 behind January of last year due to snow days and PD days. Looks like Sodexo won't make money this year, but neither will the board lose money. Same as last year. There was also a request to apply for a grant from the state so athletes could receive meals after school at no cost and, of course, then reimbursed by the states. Just a few notes from the last meeting. A member of the public discussed partnerships last meeting, and Mr. Callaghy wanted to make it clear that we are looking at all forms of alternate ways into trying to reduce the cost of partnering, whether that's for field upgrades or sound upgrades or auditorium upgrades at the high school. And of course, you know, there's always the issue about ownership issues going forward, so we are looking into that. And really quickly about the high school field, Mr. Callaghy feels we should do a lease purchase on it, pay it off in 5 years at $250K average per year. It is a pressing issue that needs to be addressed this summer. That's all for this month. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Sobold? Wait. Do you want to?
Yeah, just quickly, what you're alluding to is we were, I should say, we received a formal bid protest by one of our bidders, and we just received it today, and we're in a process of really sifting through the information and digesting it, but as that develops, I'll be reporting out to the board accordingly.
Right, and that's exactly why I didn't want to talk, because I know it takes a little time whenever we receive a protest.
Okay, the Athletics and Performing Arts Committee met on March 3rd. In attendance was myself, Dr. Hernandez, Ms. Tyroller, Ms. Evans, and Ms. Stromwell. Under athletics, tryouts for the spring sports begins Friday, March 13th, which is baseball, softball, and tennis. We discussed volleyball. There has been great growth and interest in the girls' volleyball team in recent years, and it was discussed exploring a boys' team for next spring. On performing arts, the next all-district K-12 show will be Shrek the Musical. The sign-up auditions and callbacks were last week, and approximately 100, I have the numbers here, 140 students tried out. And then I have the numbers here. So the students acting in the show are 119, and backstage will be 21, that's a lot of kids. It's going to be a great show. Rehearsals began this Monday. On April 17th, the Drama Club will hold a viewing of the movie version of Shrek the Musical as a fundraiser in the high school auditorium. The drama department will attend the New Jersey Thespian Competition on March 28th, 29th. And then lastly, we had a volunteer, Janet Saya, came to visit the students. Now, Janet is a district mom, and she's also currently performing on Broadway in The Phantom of the Opera. And she's someone that I just knew briefly, but I want to say that she never hesitated for a second when I asked her if she would want to come meet the kids. And she spent hours with them and did theatrical workshops with them and discussed theater. And I think that everybody had a great time. And you can see on the agenda, some of the students are going to go see her performing in a matinee at Phantom of the Opera, which is exciting for them. And then we briefly touched on the Harvard Model Congress, but I asked that maybe they could come and update us. So the students and those teachers will come and give us an update maybe next month or the month after. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Okay, just really quickly, I just wanted to mention with our ongoing collaboration with Stevens Institute, this year they came and administered a program called the SAT Max program to our high school students, the juniors, and it's really an SAT prep course, a pretty intense one, and our kids did great. We had a number of children that participated, and very nice. Stevens is going to honor them and have a little reception and for their successful completion. So it's a nice thing for our kids to get up there.
Can I mention something about Stevens? You triggered a thought.
Okay, let me just finish.
Oh, sure.
And also, just for everybody to know, Stevens is going to be hosting the NCAA Men's Volleyball Championships in April, which is very exciting, and they want to have a Hoboken Public School cheering section and really get our kids up there. So all the administrations of the buildings are excited, and that's just a fun thing for us. And they actually, Beth McGrath and Rooney Reeby actually came to Stevens for their African American Month Celebration Assembly, which was really fun, and they really enjoyed it. It was nice to have them come in and be part of our, work with us and be part of our groups. So that's it. What did you want to mention?
Oh, that's what I wanted to mention, that they had come with us to Connors,
Oh,
to the
okay.
African American celebration,
Okay.
right? We got to tour the science labs in the classrooms.
Okay, so now, any questions from any board members on committee reports or the president's report this side?
No.
No.
No. Okay, so with that, we're moving on to agenda comments, and thank you for your patience. We had some business to do, and with the recognition ceremony, we got a little late, so my apologies.
Did you sign the one here? There was some general confusion. There was a lost clipboard, so we found
Oh,
it.
okay, okay.
Patricia Waiters, good evening. Board President and Board of Ed body. First, I want to congratulate all the honorees tonight. And on agenda item number 14, could you please, if you have agenda in front of you, just follow with me so I can make this brief as possible. On 14, when I came in here earlier today, this wasn't here. When you went in a closed session, it mysteriously popped up, a big copy blew up of the version you see on item number 14, public comment. It's the same thing, but just blew up in an 8x10 version. I just want to place that on the record. All right, I took a little offense to this, but I pulled over corporation counsel or the board and asked him, is this language legal, and did he get the opportunity to review the language? With that being said, I have a few agendas here on the county level from the Board of Chosen Freeholders, which is actually dated today, March 10th, 2015. I attend the city council meetings, you know I'm a regular there. A few North Bergen, Weehawken, so on and so forth. The public portion participation, this is what was up here today when I got here. State your name and address, group and affiliation. If applicable, you have the right to speak. That word right to speak, this is what I wanted him to see with the language, how harsh it is, and I could tell it wasn't reviewed. Please direct your comments to the chair board. With all due respect, she's a board member, I understand that, but again, when you run for office, it's the body, it's non-board members. You may not address any administrator or board members. To tell us we cannot address the board member, and this is an elected position, that's another thing. I want you just to review it. I'm not getting on nobody tonight. I'm simply asking you to look into it. Because with this being said, people that watch this and know me in this community, they walk around with a little red, white, and blue card of mine now, and I advocate for this whole community. So to me, I took this as a personal attack for what happened last time. And like I told you before, I respect all of y'all. When I come here, I address these items here, not for myself, but as a community advocate. So if I get a little emotional, which I'm learning now, and I'll be telling the people, if I don't see you sitting out in this audience no more, I'm not going to stand up here and be the scapegoat and fight with you or fight with you or fight with you. I come up here and address the issues and concerns on a public portion, on agenda item or whatever, the way we feel. You cannot put in language to control us what to do and say. Now, as far as inappropriate language, like you said here, cursing, swearing, whatever, I never in my life would do that in a public setting, okay? Now, to put that on here, all right, and say that you can control what we do or say, if I get a little emotional, I took offense to that too, because it's the public portion. You cannot tell me what to say, how emotional I can get, or whatever, okay? But I try to stay professional, and I ask the same for this body. Okay, when I run for the Board of Ed, if I ever get the opportunity to sit up there, I will feel offended if somebody say to me, only address my board president. If I ran, what if somebody ran and didn't vote for you and voted for Peter? We want to hear what Peter have to say, and that's only our right. And I'm going to ask you again tonight, please review the lawsuit with the Jersey City Board of Ed, public portion, with a person like me that's getting ready to file one too if this continue to happen. This is like a gag order and another way to silence me, and I'm not going to silence myself. Okay, so I'm asking all of you that didn't see this, could you review the language, and I will stand up here and act in an appropriate, professional manner. I don't expect to address no administration. I agree with that part. I don't expect to address no director or nothing else, or no issues and put them on the spot. I will never do that, okay? With that being said, I only have 2 items on the agenda about the after-school program grant that's coming. I know it's not gonna cost the district anything, but I'm watching every grant that come into this city, because my question is, it says for the less misfortunate, did I read misfortunate? Well, whatever, for the people that's in need or whatever, this after-school lunch thing, where is the after-school programs here in Hoboken? Because the after-school program where my son go to, I can't even afford it. And if you read the language where the after-school lunch is being said, it says for the, if you could find that for me on,
It's
I think that
10.9.
10.9? All right, just read the language, because my question is, where is the after-school programs, and they paying money like that? That's one of the reasons my kid couldn't afford it. And to put that on here to feed the people, and I'm quite sure you got state regulations that's not gonna feed nobody lunch for free on a grant that can afford a $200 and $300 a week daycare after school program. Okay? So that's another thing I'm gonna look into. And I just learned this on this agenda. I'm comparing it with an old agenda I have. When you see at the bottom of your recommendation of actions, and it says, now let it see that it resolved, the Board of Ed approved whatever contract, now you got filed attachments. You don't actually have the actual document in here. Okay, again, that may be a good, convenient way for you, but again, it inconveniences members of the public. You know why? Everybody don't have access to a web. Okay, so when you run, I'm telling you again, you run to serve this community as a government body, you set policy together as a government body, and you try to make the city and the community most comfortable as possible for us, our children, and whatever you enforce as you consider policy. Now, if I'm sitting here and I'm new to the public, what am I gonna do? It says, hit attachment here, and that's how all of your agendas is being ran. And it's hurt me, because I'm showing you an old one with a new one, versus me sitting here and seeing the attachment that you said, oh, an increase to this, sports, and now I gotta go on and hit a link, and I don't have a computer, so I don't get to see it. That's it. And for field trips, now and again, it says here, sponsor field trips, but I don't see it. I spoke to the field trip about the track and field. I said it here a couple of weeks ago, you approved it, and I spoke to the coach and she told me no, the Board of Ed didn't pay for it. And I said, yes, they did. I was at the meeting, they approved the trip. I'm wrapping it up, Mr. Plumford, I'm finished. And it just raised concerns, because could you look into that? She told me it was not being paid for, and I actually seen her at the school trying to sell blankets or fundraise or whatever, so maybe I misinterpret being paid for, half amount, whatever, I don't know, but could you look into that, please? Thank you so much for your cooperation.
Ms. Maders, excuse me. Next speaker.
Right now, we have none listed. I do know there was some confusion, so I'll ask again, is there anybody else that'd like to address the board before we move forward with the agenda? Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, questions, comments, any comments from board trustees on agenda comments? To the left? Go ahead.
On agenda items, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, we can do both. Public comment on agenda items and questions.
On agenda items, sure. I just have one, Dr. Perkel, in 9.15 field trips. It seems as if Ms. Miller is, and I know Ms. Sobolov touched upon this, is taking theater students over to the Phantom of the Opera, and I was just curious if there was a backstage tour included in that.
Yes.
Oh, there is? Okay, great.
Janet Saya arranged a discount, or as much as she could get for the students, and I don't believe all of them can go, because it's hard to get a whole big group, but I think that some of the students are going to go. Maybe I don't know how she's going to choose the seniors, but I'm hoping that she'll stay involved and that this can happen again.
Right. Okay. So, just wanted to. I think it would be a great learning experience for them to actually see the backstage of a very, very popular Broadway show. So. No further questions.
Any other?
No questions. I just wanted to address some of the questions, or is somebody else going to?
No, you can comment. Yes.
For the after-school, the food grant, I mean, part of the discussions that I heard in some of the committees was that the grant was going to be for maybe the athletic programs. I mean, you have some of the students that go, maybe they go to the tutoring center and then they go out onto the field, and a lot of them don't often have money to either go eat well, so this would be a way of providing them a healthy meal when they're training hard for, you know, baseball or soccer or football or cheerleading or whatever they're doing. And then with the facilities requests and the field trips, I understand her concern that it says file attached, but they're attached to the back of the agenda. So if you look on the back, you'll see the facilities requests and the field trip requests. And is this for our comments? I just wanted to mention...
Any questions on the comments on the agenda?
Right, on number 911. I just wanted, it's a listing of the volunteers that we get, and there's, let's see, 6 volunteers for the theater, and I just wanted to thank the parents for their time in helping out with the students. Thank you.
Okay. Comments or questions on the agenda from everybody good? And yeah, I looked at when we review our agenda, we have attachments that we look at that have confidential information and stuff on them. And so in actuality, these lines, we wouldn't be able to have for the public because they're confidential, and we should not have those on the public copy because it appears. So we're going to work on that to make it more clear. But the reason why those attachments are not available to the public is because they have confidential information about kids or employees. So that's why. So I apologize. That does look very misleading. Okay, so now we can move on. Do you have any comment? Okay. We can move on to an agenda vote. Do I have a motion for, do you do that?
I'd like to move the consent agenda, please.
Second.
Okay.
Call roll.
Call roll, please.
Ms. Angley?
Yes.
Mr. Biancamano? Aye. Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Dr. Gold? Yes. Mr. Kluffeld?
Yes.
Ms. Mitchell?
Yes.
Ms. Sobolov?
Yes.
Ms. Tromwell?
Yes.
And Ms. Tyroller?
Yes. Okay, so now we'll have public comments. This is the...
First speaker is Raymond Smith.
Hi, my name is...
Please talk loud so I can hear.
It works.
My name is Raymond Smith. I don't know if some of you know me, but most of you I don't think do. I'm the guy that created the handprint flag in the hallway there. And I wanted to come over and see it tonight, but I got to tell you, I'm very disappointed with what I saw tonight. And when I created that, that wasn't at all what I had in mind for it. It has, like, the way it's hung, it has no dignity, it has no sense of place, it doesn't have the meaning I wanted it to have. I created that, you know, to memorialize the victims, and I actually went to contact people that had actually lost their loved ones on 9/11. It wasn't just like an after-school project. The number of stars in the canton represent the number of victims from Hoboken, and then corresponding in alphabetical order, some of those hands represent the ones, the parents or caretakers that they lost. And there's a pair of hands on there where the hands are joined. That was a couple that was engaged to be married that got killed. So there's just like a lot of meaning to that, and there's only one like that. The one at the high school is reproduction I made for the 10th anniversary. But that was the first 9/11 memorial, and it actually has become like the only one now because the teardrop that used to be in the Memorial Grove got destroyed, and actually I discovered that. I was walking around with my wife one Father's Day, and it was just laying there destroyed, and I went to the police, and it got moved off. But the Memorial Grove that's on Pier A, I've been meaning to make more of an issue about lately too, but I just don't have the time to do everything. But Jersey City has the same exact memorial that's on Pier A, and it was, I think, something from the government. that represents the 50 states and, you know, an expression of unity. And the way that's treated now, I really object to too. My wife has any number of photographs of it being used as sort of an ad hoc storage shed and dirt pile. And, you know, every time I go by there, I think is, you know, like I'll ride my bike through the memorial in Jersey City, to the corresponding ginkgo trees with the benches. And you don't see dirt loaders over there. You see like a world-class memorial called Empty Sky. I'll ride my bike up to West New York. There's like a great memorial up there with the tridents from the World Trade Center. So what I feel is here is very fragile and needs to be protected, and you know, I appreciate the interest in it, but I feel like if we can't agree on a you know, more meaningful, safe place for it, then just return it to me and I'll see what I could do with it. But I'd really like to, I'd like it to remain public and not, just like, you know, I feel like it's just been shoved off to the side now, and like when I walked in tonight, there was a room divider shoved up against it. So, not good.
No, not good. Okay, thank you. Are there other people on the list?
Yes, we have three
What
others.
we do is we're going to hear from the other person, but I'm sure that we would want to respond, but we need to do that after the whole, everybody's spoken. So if you just give us a minute to allow the other
Sure.
person, I'm sure we all have something to say.
The next speaker is Ms. Waiters.
All right, I just want to get back to what I was saying again. The last speaker, I'm going to apologize. That's like disheartening here. And this is what I mean when I say emotions. You don't know what to expect when somebody's standing at this microphone. I'm almost in tears. I hope you do look into that and help him out with that, because that was real meaningful to a lot of people in Hoboken. I have a question about, and thank you to Board President. I see what you explained, but if you look, it's certain items that's on the back, and I counted already 3 that's not there, and that's point well taken, because confidentiality for students underage, stuff like that too.
Very
and
misleading.
business.
I apologize for that.
All right, I just want to say I enjoyed Connors. I came to the afternoon session. It was excellent. Patrick Fitzgerald, I told him, did a wonderful job. The school looked great. That was like my second time being in there after the hurricane, and everything was so amazing. I just couldn't believe it. Just hearing them speak, and the Honor African American History Month, and even the little kids ran up to me and said, "Ms. Waiters, the Board of Ed was here," and I was like, "Oh, that is so sweet to hear that from the kids." So they definitely appreciated you guys showing up. And Mr. Clumford, this is what I'm saying when I'm saying a government body. I don't like singling people out. I enjoy you at the games, everything like I was telling you earlier. I'm trying to build a relationship with my community. I don't want to be known as this like person is like out to fight all the time and argue, but I am an activist. And I just want to share a little example with you from like strangers that I see in the street that just even new to the community. I got to the city council meeting Wednesday night, and I had 31 cab drivers waiting outside for me. I never seen some of them in my life, hear from them that speak English. And this Chinese man run up to me and goes, "This is your card." I say, "Yeah." Like, "What did I do?" And he goes, "I need you to help me. They said you help the community." I said, "Okay, sure, I'll help you." Long story short, I went in there to help him, and then the cab driver came after that. But if you watch the video, I couldn't even talk. They didn't hear what I was saying because they were screaming and yelling, and it was like a riot. And I almost felt embarrassed. I said, "Wait a minute, I'm not here to cause a riot. I was trying to help the cab drivers." And that's what I'm trying to explain to you. When people come in the community and come up to me and say, "Mrs. Waiters, I have this problem. Could you help me out?" First of all, I try to do fact finding and make sure it's fair. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to put nobody on the spot and question the superintendent and throw a hot potato on Peter's lap and this one. I try to rectify and diffuse things so we could live together as a community. So when I walk past you in the morning and say, "Good morning, Dr. Burkell, good morning, Ruth," and hug you and see our kids play together, that is what my motivation is, okay? That's my motive, simply that. Even after the election is over, let the election be over. You sit here and you serve the community. And then you will always see me participate. You will always see me act in an appropriate manner, because that's how it should be from both sides. Whether I voted for you, I was against you, because when you run, you say, I'm going to serve everybody, win or lose. And that is my main motive, to see everybody be happy. I know we're not going to completely satisfy everybody to the fullest, because sometimes change is good for some and it's not for others. But that's what I'm saying. Let's work still together as a team and work with what we have. Okay? Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to start off. I just want...
No other speakers?
What?
No other speakers?
Oh, is that, oh, there's two, oh, I'm so sorry. No? Next speaker?
Yeah, Shalila Delara. Oh, Sheila, did I do that last night? Sorry, I apologize. Ms. Delara? Are you, okay, sorry. They were coming up. Yeah.
That's okay. Sheila Delara. It's 1000 Hudson Street. Good evening. And I'm here to follow up. I was here not last month, but the month before that, to talk a little bit about my fundraisers for the Wallace ABA program. And I just wanted to just remind you and remind whoever's watching this that our last one, at least for the winter session, is on March 29th, which is a ride led by me. I'm a spin instructor as well, led by me. And it's on March 29th at Work It Out Fitness Studios. And I just wanted to kind of also mention that it will be a family-friendly event. We're going to have babysitters volunteering their time to watch kids and have other kind of things going on for the families. But I also wanted to talk a little bit about where the funds are going, because I know I touched briefly on it last time. So after meeting with the ABA teachers and staff, their wishes for this fundraiser for this last one is a curricular room. And we sat down and we kind of wrote up just kind of a little overview on it, and I just want to read this to you if that's okay. So, the purpose of the curricular room will be to supply classified special education learners with materials that correspond to their individual programming, which is pretty much an IEP, right? An individualized education plan, which every child right now in ABA currently has. This curricular room will provide teachers access to materials that are readily available. Because our learners require specialized programming, we often have to create materials, or sometimes we have to go without them. Creating materials is time-consuming, and purchasing them is sometimes a little bit of a challenge. So having a curricular room would give teachers the opportunity to borrow materials program-wide. In time, this will reduce the time and effort spent on making materials while lowering our spending overall. The room will contain materials that correspond with curriculums used with each student, right? So grades from pre-K to 5th grade, which is currently right now at Wallace. So for example, the Autism Curricular Encyclopedia, also called ACE, which is used in the ABA program at Wallace School, consists of over 1,500 academic, social, self-help, and vocational skills. The majority of these teaching programs require the use of varied materials such as pictures and stimuli, objects, games, puzzles, manipulatives, and other material. In addition, this room would serve as an area to store these materials needed for programming for these kids, such as binders and sheet protectors and dividers and data sheets, right? This area could house other supplies such as anything from Velcro to laminating sheets. So basically making this room accessible for every teacher and every student right now that's enrolled in the ABA program. The curricular room will be available to special educators and will be maintained by staff and parent volunteers. And our vision and our goal is that this room would be complete with shelving and materials and organizational tools and so forth and so on. This is it's a big project. I know this, but it's something that I want to work very hard on. And so again, our first and our last fundraising event is on the 29th, and this is going to kind of start us off on this goal that we've kind of all set for ourselves. So it's March 29th, 2 rides. I'll teach both of them, one at noon and then one at 1 o'clock. And we'll have all teachers there, and my son will be there, which will be really exciting for everybody to meet. So, and I invite you guys to just come and just support. You know, you don't have to get on the bike or anything like that. I mean, if you want to, you can. But it'll be a lot of fun. So, so again, and anybody that's watching this, please come, work it out, Fitness Studios, March 29th. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Sarah Rayner.
Hi, Sarah Raynor, 1000 Jefferson Street, and recent president of the PTO of Hoboken Junior Senior High School as my affiliation. Thank you. Very proud. Very proud parent of a Hoboken Red Wing, which we are having our first fundraiser, our t-shirt sale, which is going to be from now until the 17th of April. They're $10 a t-shirt. The order forms can be found in the digital backpack and also right on the Hoboken Junior Senior High School website, so place your order. The next PTO meeting is March 18th at 6:30 in the Hoboken High School Library. Also this Sunday, the Hoboken Junior Senior High School PTO, the Wallace PTO, and Hoboken Special Needs Parent Group are coming together to host a track and field family day, which is going to fundraise for the high school track team, the boys track team, who qualified to go to Penn Relays. So it's the 15th, the Sunday. Registration starts at 1 o'clock. The event starts at 1:30. Everyone is invited, all ages, $5 per participant. And there's going to be different circuits, different events, indoor track type of things. You're going to be able to meet the great track team with Miss Burrell. Games, raffles, music, food. And also the Hoboken Special Needs Parent Group secured a group of volunteer special education teachers and aides from our wonderful district who are going to be there to help with any children with special needs, so that everyone can feel that they're able to participate, and it's going to be fun. So bring the family. And last, the next open house for the high school is March 31st from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. And that is it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now it's time for us to just have final comments and also on public comment. So I actually usually go last. I'll keep to form. Ms. Angley?
I wanted to address the painting. I'm new to the board, and I'm actually just newly familiar with the painting. And to be honest, I didn't know the meaning of it prior to tonight. So thank you for sharing that. And it's disheartening to hear, so I hope that we can work to find a special place for the public to enjoy it. I also wanted to say that I also attended the Connors Black History Month performance, which was really nice. The kids did a fabulous job, so I did enjoy attending that. And I've also enjoyed reading both at Wallace and at Connors this month to the children for Dr. Seuss.
Thank you. Peter?
Mr. Smith, I completely agree with you. I think that we certainly need to look at how to move the painting into a more respectable manner. I know that in Wallace School it was certainly behind us and it was well respected and things like that, and it was so prominent. So I hope the administration does look into that. That's it. Thanks.
Ms. Mitchell?
Yes, I hope that the administration can find another a more honorable place to keep you satisfied and show more respect to the victims of September 11th. I want to congratulate Sarah for being the president of the PTO at the high school. That's I believe there hasn't been a president's or a board of the PTO in years, and I think it's a wonderful thing. And congratulations.
Ms. Sobola?
Yeah, I guess I wanted to just touch on the painting too. I mean, I know the painting and I understand the story and I know the significance, and not that I would know the intent of the administration, but I think it happened during the move from the board meeting to here, and that is the entrance now. So maybe that was the thinking. I don't know, that people see it, and if that's not a place that you feel, I mean, maybe we can discuss. I kind of was wondering if maybe it should go back in the music room, but then that's not a public place, well, because our previous board meeting was also a shared student music room. So I don't know if you have some ideas of where you think it might be more appropriate. I'm sure everybody would be willing to, hear. I don't think anybody means to disrespect the painting. I think that with the moving of the offices and the meetings to here, it got changed, the spot. So I'm sure we can come up with something that, is respectable to the painting and to honor the victims of 9/11. So I wanted to congratulate Sarah too. Yay, PTO in the high school. It's kind of, I have 2 kids there, so it's exciting to feel the energy back. And the meeting is, I just wanted to reiterate that the Hoboken High School, senior high school meeting is on March 18th. So anybody who hears this should come out. If you have a student, if you're a parent, a grandparent, or a caregiver, come out to the PTO meeting. It's going to be awesome. And that's it. Thank you.
Mr. Gold?
Sorry you had to wait 3.5 hours to say it.
Yeah.
But the good news is more people know about the story because you need an oral tradition. There has to be a way that concerns like you brought up, why you don't have to, I take it you knew about this, that's why you came here, and I just wish there was some way to, where people that have valid complaints don't have to wait a month to voice them. But it's, yeah. Just a little? Okay. But it's just, I mean, what you did is part of our history, and I mean, I like you to come every year and say what the story is. But anyway, I'm glad you said what you did. Okay, for people that can't hear you, there's actually a piece of paper that people could get and learn about it, right? Okay, great. Thanks.
Ms. Trumwell?
Being new here myself, I have seen the painting and I didn't know the story behind it, and it is sort of a shame that I didn't know the story behind it and the people I asked didn't know either. I feel like maybe there should be some kind of information along with it, so when people have questions that they could read about it and really understand what it meant to you, what it means to the community, and to have it on a display where it's suitable and everyone could see it. I do agree with you. And congratulations, Sarah, to have the PTO. It's so exciting. I'm really happy to see parents are getting involved in the high school, and it's so wonderful for the energy there. And like Sharon, it was wonderful to go to Connors and see the presentation by the students for their African American History project. It was wonderful. The kids were awesome. It was invigorating. They were so proud, and they did such a good job. And the child who was the MC, he was wonderful, totally wonderful. And I did enjoy reading the Dr. Seuss the next day. And my son found out I was reading to other classes, and he got quite upset, so I had to come read to him in Demarest right afterwards. So I spent my day reading as well. But I'm so thrilled to see parents and community members coming here, voicing their opinions, and being part of our community. And I think dialogue is key, and that's what makes us stronger. So thank you.
Ms. Evans? Good. Mr. Buckler?
Yeah, I would like to say something addressed to the comments that Ms. Waiters raised about the public participation thing there. Because, to be honest, I was the one who sort of raised this as an issue, and it was not directed specifically at you, Ms. Waiters, honestly. Every word on that sheet of paper that is now on the podium comes from school board policy, which I can show you right after the meeting. This was not made up. There's no arbitrary rule here. This is policy that the board has had in effect since 2008. And sitting here over the past couple of years, it has just been my opinion that it's sometimes hard to enforce good rules of debate if the public doesn't know the rules. So by putting them here when people could sign up and see the rules, just sort of made it clear to everyone how we should conduct ourselves, both as a board and as members of the public. So I just wanted to explain that, and I'd be happy to talk to you further about this after the meeting. That's all.
I just, when we moved to this venue, the reason why we couldn't hang the painting behind us was actually in fear that when that screen came down, the painting would be damaged. So, and then everywhere else in here looked awkward and odd because it would be, because I find the placement actually in the high school auditorium odd. I feel like it's not a great spot for it. And I felt like we were recreating the same things if we tried to put over the door. So, and you know how that is when you're looking for a spot for something. When it fits so perfectly over there, that felt good to us, but it was because we were looking for a place. But certainly, I'm sure Dr. Brickell will figure out a place and work with you to find a place that's more suitable. So, you know, we'll get you, so, you know, he'll be happy to talk with you about it at your convenience and also start thinking about other places. Because you're right, but it was, we just want you to know that, and certainly, I want you to know that the reason it's not here is because we were afraid it would get damaged when that screen came down, and it's very upsetting to hear that when you came in to see it, that there was something against it, because that was everything that we were trying to avoid. So, but thank you for coming and telling us, because, you know, because we were trying to find a place, it felt like it looked good to us, because we were searching for a spot that it fit. So, and so we will work on that. And the other, yeah, and with that, I am really done. Dr. Brickell? And we can continue this after we close, if you like, okay? So with that, I'm ready to close the meeting. Do I have a motion?
Move it.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.